Their games are over. Their games are over. Welcome, YouTube Collective. Richard the Warlock here. Targeted individuals, psychic reading. If you think you're a TI, this is the place to be. Okay. If you want a personalised reading, drop down to the video description. You can find the Beacons AR link there, and you can get yours. Phone and video chat from £25. Same day guaranteed from 10. The games are over, right? The axe is dropping. Okay, the axe is dropping on your attackers. Four of Cups in the reverse, Lord of Blended Pleasure. We've then got Six of Cups in the reverse position, Lord of Pleasure. High Priestess in the reverse. Okay, the Priestess of the Silver Star. Okay, these people have been living in opulence and abundance for a long period of time. They've abused, used, manipulated their position of authority and power, both here in the 3D, and their connection and understanding of their connection with the higher, I'm going to say with the higher power. I was going to say with Source, but I don't think these people are directly connected to Source. They've got an understanding of the occult. They've got an understanding of ancient knowledge, rituals, and practices, and they have abused that. Okay, and then what I can see in my mind is it's like people. They're like it's how do I put this? So they look like kind of royalty and regal people, and it's like they're all sat round this big long old wooden table, and it's full of fruit and meat and bread. It's very much like, you know, a film, and they're all just like stuffing their faces and laughing, but it's almost like we're aware it's an act. We're aware that it's costume jewelry. It's not the real deal. And they've ridden their luck and success, quote unquote, based on this illusion. Now, I think for these people, they 100% they believed the illusion. They believed that they were the king and the queen of this and that and the other. But they weren't. They never have been. They've been fraudulent. They've believed their own hype. And because they believed their own hype, they've fed into that dark energy, which slowly over time, drip, 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 has fed on them. Source has had enough. Okay? The games are over. What I can now see is, and again, it's just visual representation, people, it's like there's people lined up, a bit like they were going to kind of go into a prison. And they've got their hair shaved, they're in rags, and it's like they're being inspected, okay? And it's and they look defeated. All this false gold abundance that these greedy pigs, I want to say, have been feeding off, some of them for years, is being stripped back, okay? I'm now seeing somebody that I actually know, medium. And it's like she's having the crown put on her head, and I kind of feel emotional for her, to be honest with you, because this person that's coming into my mind is a real warrior, is a real trooper, and she's slogged her guts out, and she's been in a position much like myself where she's been kind of manipulated, used, abused, taken advantage of by these people who claim to be spiritual. And it's like sources taking away all the facade, taking all the way, all the false gold, and people like this person I can see in my mind are having the crown put on, and she's so humble with it. She's so humble with it, okay? Because the person I'm thinking of has been through hell, absolute hell, okay? And it's like she's being crowned. So I'll be interested to see, because obviously a lot of the stuff that is put in my mind is kind of visual representation, so I can tell the story. So I'll be interested to see if she starts selling out at stuff and work kind of really picks up, because she deserves it. She deserves it. It's like the true ones are being placed in the right positions, you know. And I'm getting the phrase earth leader. So I've been saying for some time now, the chosen ones, they're kind of in position. Okay, they've remembered who they are. So sadly, if you're not woken up properly yet and you go, I think I might be a chosen one, no, you're not. might be a Starseed. Most of them are woken up now. Although there's a bit more of a lineage of that that's going to continue. Yeah, this person. Yeah. So anyway, the chosen ones, they've woken up. They're in their seats of authority, within the ethereal, within the astral, and that's started to kind of fall into place here in the 3D. Okay, so if you're still kind of struggling with work and not knowing that abundance is coming in, well, yeah, it will come in later. The chosen ones, that started to hit. That started to actually materialize in the 3D. So with this person, I want to say she's more of people like this. They're more of an earth leader. So the chances are, if you're watching this and you're getting what I'm saying, I mean, you might resonate with this person who's having the crown on the head. You might resonate more with kind of my side of the storytelling. Yeah, more of an earth leader, because I've said for some time. First off, the chosen get placed. They take their thrones back. The job then is to start laying the foundations for the first round of earth leaders, the ones who are actually going to bring the change. Alongside the chosen ones within their selected field. So when I talk about being an earth leader, I'm not saying people who are going to kind of topple the government or anything along those lines. No. People who are going to actually be in that position to express their craft, whatever that may be, and be recognised for it. Light in the way. Never mind. Yeah. So that's kind of the state of play at the moment. I want to say the succession of power is almost complete. And then what I can see is it's almost like the main protagonists, they've all been round up. They're little piggies, so they've been put in a pig pen. And there's a few little squealers, a few little hoglets, and I can hear like piglets squealing in my mind. They're still running around. They're trying to evade capture. Okay, but the game is up. Okay, Sun card in the reverse. Okay, so for this collective, because I'm going to assume you're more resonating with the person having the crown put on their head. Your Sun card is coming. It's just not ready yet. Now, from experience with what's happened to me, you might feel it. You might feel like it's coming, right? You might feel it. It's almost like you can taste it, but it's not quite there yet. It can take a little bit of time to start filtering through. So if you're more a kind of spiritual astral level, you've kind of felt like there's been a shift and a change, and you kind of feel like something's coming in, but it's not coming in yet. You've got to wait for it to kind of materialize in the matrix. Okay, but it is coming. Your time is coming. Your time is here. These false, I want to call them false gods, false idols. I want to say, don't understand the ramifications of what their actions have done. Okay, it's almost like spiritual treason, and people who commit treason face the harshest of crimes. Off with their heads. Okay, off with their heads. They thought that they were bigger than Source. Some of them didn't even believe in Source. They believed in a higher power, and for a lot of them, they thought that the higher power was themselves. So I'm not saying that these people were going around going, I'm a god, I'm this, that, and the other. Some of them will be. Don't get me wrong. But it's almost like, so when we talk about like Christ consciousness, it's about understanding that you are God and God is you, okay? But, as a channel, as I am, what I'm doing now, it's about connecting with your higher self. Well, your higher self is God, isn't God? You're part of it. You're part of it, but it does not make you the Almighty. And it feels like these people, that they've connected as far as their higher self, but their higher self is corrupt. So they think that they've achieved that godlike status. Okay. I'm seeing some Egyptian-based visuals. I'm seeing somebody dressed up a bit like a Cleopatra type. black hair to their fringe cut in. I don't know if that's their real hair though. I think it might be a wig or just a visual representation. These fools, knowingly or unknowingly, have been worshipping the Anunnaki. Some of them knew. Some of them believe they are, and some of them are. Some of them are come from that bloodline, come from that soul bloodline. Their leader was toppled a long time ago, captured, put into astral jail. The one they call Ra. And these fools have been running around. Some of them know that, some of them don't. Some the ones that know that have been bidding and vying for that position. But there's something over that. There's something over that goes deeper and further. Okay, a darker force, a darker energy, and that's been controlling these fools like puppets. And they've not realised that. They've not realised that. Some of them understand the energy that they've been working with and playing with, but the arrogance and ego has stopped them from seeing or realising that they've just been pawns. They've been pawns in a greater game, okay? A game between the real quote-unquote gods, the deities. Source code has had enough, because the ascension is supposed to be going through at a more rapid rate than this, and this actions and behaviours has slowed down the timelines. And then here down in the physical has allowed time for those manipulating the timelines to put some blocks in place. I was going to say alter, but I don't think it's altered anything, because I think this is destined. I want to say Source is also disappointed, completely disappointed. The task at hand and the long-term plan was to have far more many than this see the truth. And Source is so very bitterly disappointed that so many have failed. So many are so unevolved still. They can't see beyond their 3D reality. They claim to, but they can't. Bitter fools. Jealousy, greed, lust. So easily swayed by offers of power and fame. Sounds a bit heavy. These people will burn for eternity. They didn't learn their lessons. They couldn't even get past that first test. And as I'm saying this, I just feel so disappointed. So disappointed. It's like being a parent. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I'm just assuming it. But it's like being a parent, and your kid's supposed to be, A-star student, and they've kind of thrown it all away. It's disappointed. I don't want to cry, but I want to have like a tear rolling down my face. That's the level of disappointment. So we've got the Hierophant, mages of the eternal gods. So this collective has stuck true. This collective has done the right thing. They've followed that path. Now I feel like I'm probably dealing more with the collective of not starseeds as such. Oh, this one's hard to explain. So for me, a starseed comes from a different planet, a different universe, different timeline, etc. But within the realms of the ethers of Earth, you have what would be starseeds if they were taken to a different planet. So this collective, they started from Earth, probably OG Earth beings before human beings, Earth energy, Earth souls. So you have the same kind of mindset and abilities and ethics as any other starseed, but it's just that you're on planet Earth. You're from home planet. To kind of high, from that kind of energy to high-ranking light worker energy. Okay, I feel like this is the collective that I'm dealing with, that I'm challenging for. Okay. You've gone about things the right way. You've held your head up high. You might have had some moments of temptation. You might have had moments where you've given into that temptation, but you've pulled yourself back. You've got back on course, and you've carried on with that mission. So for you, Earth leaders, I want to call you, you are being anointed. Okay, you are being crowned. You're being recrowned. Okay, this is your realm. This is your realm, and you are going to start to take that mantle. So when you see the others, the chosen, that are receiving their abundance and rewards, you have not been forgotten. Your time is coming now. For some of you, that time will only be brief. Source understands that the path that you have been on has been so long and so winding that you are weary, you are tired, and you are questioning, when is it your turn? Your turn is coming very, very soon. It is just around the corner. For some of you who probably won't be watching this, you will get tested again. It's the final test. It's the final test. For some of you watching, you will receive this final test. And it's almost like that breakdown before the breakthrough energy. Okay, it's literally going to happen. I feel like it's a test as in, are you going to give up? Excuse me. Are you going to stand firm and true? And have that belief and faith that abundance, that reward for all your hard work is literally about to hit. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Okay, many of your attackers are going towards spiritual court as we speak. Some of them are actually being tried as we speak, and some of them have already been found guilty and being sentenced as such for treason. Off with their heads. Those gifts and abilities that they had being ripped away, stripped naked and bare for all to see. So what I mean by that is, if we were dealing with, for example, like a medium, their gifts and abilities, that power's gone. They can no longer speak to dead people. It's gone. And when they try and read, when they try and perform, it's going to be abundantly clear and obvious for everybody that being there, watching, having the reading, this person's lost it. This person's lost their gifts, their abilities. They're going to start displaying bouts of anger, egotistical attitude. You know, I'm right, I'm telling you this is what it is. That kind of attitude. And they are going to go down, because spiritually, astrally, they're being tried as we speak. And again, much like we were saying about the abundance, it's got to filter through. It's got to kind of filter through the layers. These people, they're going to go at the hands of what they casted on the collective. So if it's that they've tried everything they can to stop your career, well, their career's over. If they've put blocks on your money, their time of abundance is over. They're going to be paupers. If they've tried humiliation rituals, they are going to publicly humiliate themselves for all to see. And there's no hiding. There is no hiding now. Okay, I'm going to use the spill the tea. See what messages we get coming out of here. Right, loyal or not, someone is testing your loyalty. That's in regard to this last test. Okay, source that's testing your loyalty. Are you going to walk away now, or are you going to stand firm? Okay, breakdown before the breakthrough. Small place. This takes really hard to get cards out of. Right, keeping secrets, guard secrets, or be asked to keep one. Breaking news, a surprising revelation will shift your perspective. Boundaries respected. The other person respects your personal space and boundaries. Hidden agenda. Someone has a hidden agenda and motives. Shared experience. Shared experiences deepen the bond between you and others. Spreading positivity. Keep radiating positivity, energy and influence. Bridging differences. Cultural differences bring both challenges and growth. So, As I said, you're being tested by source. There's one more test to go, and I feel it's in regard to once you pass that test, and you will pass it, all right. There's some kind of secret that you have to keep, and it's probably, I don't feel it's like some dirty, nasty secret. It's almost like by passing that last test, something about somebody else is going to get revealed. It's got a little bit of a hidden identity type energy to it. Like you get to find out who a true chosen one is, or what their mission is. You know what I mean? And you've got to keep that secret. The breaking news, surprising revelation will shift your perspective. So I think that's in regard to that. So it's going to shift your perspective on somebody or something. Now, there will be somebody who is going to come in with a hidden agenda. I want to say they're going to make out that they respect your boundaries. They're a good person. Yeah, no rush. Don't worry about it. But they've got a hidden agenda, so just be mindful. Now, I think with the shared experiences, spreading positivity and bridging differences, I think that this collective is here to start repairing a community or a collective that had to be destroyed. Somebody like me, destroying the current system. It's what I've had to do within the spiritual industry, with the event circuit. I am the destroyer. You watching, you're being given information about somebody like me. I won't say me, but somebody like me. You're being asked to keep it secret, because with the loyal or not, it feels like the test is that hidden agenda. Are you going to be able to keep this secret? Or are you going to let slip? Okay. Because if you keep this hidden, you're going to be given the opportunity to start spreading the positivity, to start rebuilding from the destruction. Okay? Because you're a leader. You might not feel it, but you're a leader. Within your role, within your community, within your area of life, you're a leader. And you're being asked and tasked with being one of the forefathers of this new age that we're going into. Now, the rest of the world around will be falling apart, being taken over by AI, etc. But you need to focus on your community. You need to focus on the task at hand, because you have knowledge, wisdom from your experience here in regard to how to navigate certain situations, horrors, traumas, and that is so vitally needed for rebuilding this new community that you're part of. So I'm just going to get a couple more. I want to say it might not feel it at the moment, but you are going to be given the tools required. You are going to be given the tools required. So you might feel like shut out, left out in the cold, no money, etc. But you are going to get the tools required. It's not going, don't be thinking it's going to be a lottery win or anything along those lines. It's going to be more like if you're self-employed, for example, your work's going to go through the roof. So you have some additional expenditure that you can then use for bringing gain. So we've got breaking news again. A surprising revelation will shift your perspective. Let's have a couple more. The problem with this deck, they haven't got the smoothest shuffle action. Facade of concern. Someone's concerns may not be sincere. Hiding ulterior motives. Dyslexia. Right, so I think the breaking news is going to be in regard to somebody else, somebody who's been putting this facade on, somebody who this collective might have seen as a friend. I think something's going to come out. Public exposure, private matters could be exposed. Confession, someone is about to confess their true feelings towards you. I don't think it's love-based. I think the breaking news is something's going to come out. Somebody's going to come out about somebody who's been put on this, I'm a nice person, I'm this, I'm that, and the other, I just want to help people, blah, blah, bollocks. And I think that they've actually been, I want to say that they've been sat at the top table. It's been hidden, it's been kept quiet, but they've been feeding with the piggies. They've been feeding with the piggies. they were never fully accepted as one of the piggies because they weren't allowed that. They were seen as too low ranking. But there was an illusion cast that this person could achieve being able to sit at the table. And what I can see in my mind is it's like this person, and she's looking all very smug and proud of herself, and she gets placed at the table, and she thinks she's made it. She thinks she's one of them now. She's got that power. She's got that control, and what she's having like a Christmas paper crown placed on, and she's been given a plate, and I don't know why, but it's got 2 acorns on. So it's like she's allowed to sit at the table with her paper crown, but she's not been able to feed. There's something about she's being told that those acorns need to be planted. That's her meal. It will come later. Yeah, it's something about this person. It's that they make out that they're a really nice, caring, loving person, but they've been sat at the table. Like I say, they've not been allowed to eat. It's kind of like an in-house humiliation ritual. And this is all going to come to light, and I think that they're going to have to confess what they've done. Maybe not here, but again, potentially out in the astral, in the spiritual realms. So it's all coming to light. So I want to tell this collective to stay firm, stay strong, stay true. You're so close now. You are so close. There's going to be one final test. I want to say, don't get pulled into the gossip. Don't be pulled into revealing something about somebody else. It'll be tempting, not as in like, oh, but I want to screw somebody over, but it'll be almost tempting as in, I think that this person who's coming under this guise, this false narrative, I think that they're going to make out that they know. And it's almost like, well, I know. Do you know? Yeah, I know. Well, if you know, tell me, because I already know. You know what I mean? And it'd be tempting to kind of go, yeah, because it feels like whatever that breaking news, the first breaking news, not the second one is, I think it's going to be a bit of a revelation, and it's going to be a little bit like, I feel like I need to tell somebody. And if somebody comes in this energy of, yeah, but I already know too, I think that's where the trouble's going to be. So as long as you're aware of that and you just keep stum, you'll be perfectly fine. And then this, because I do feel it's in regard to this person, that's when things will fall apart. And when it comes to light, what and who this person really is, I think you'll be so pleased that you did stay stum. Okay, so there you go. Don't forget to subscribe, drop us a comment and a like. If you want personalised reading, just hop down to the description. You can find my Beacons AI link in there, and you can get your prior to same day guaranteed recorded readings from 10 quid, or book phone and video chat with me from 25. So thank you for joining me. Good luck out there. Keep stum. Ta-ta.